Take her away, Will.
We're live, people. What is up?
Welcome back to the No Name.
Yeah, this is the No Name podcast. Still haven't figured out a name, but
We have been reading all your comments on names and stuff.
Yep.
We really appreciate that. We're still choosing. There's been some pretty funny ones, some good ones. And yeah.
we'll. I think we're gonna pick one here shortly. But hey, welcome to the No Name podcast so far, presented by Whispering Wild. This is the third episode that we've done, and we've been having a blast with them. So we're gonna keep them going.
It's been a lot of fun. So we have two special guests today. We're kind of going to do some introductions here in a minute, but Brandon, this is my cousin Brandon.
I'm the original cameraman for Whispering Wild back when it was Backland Outdoors. If you go way back into the archives, you can actually see me in a couple shots there. Tyler gave me a little bit of camera time back in the day.
Yeah.
So, that was very generous of him.
More camera time than I give Will.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm Tyler's cousin. Best friends and cousins for 26 years now. So
It was touching.
Yeah.
Who do we got over here? Who do we got over here?
A little bit.
What's up, guys?
But give your official title.
Of what? I have many official titles.
The one that you're most proud of.
Oh, geez. I don't know. Deputy Fire Warden. Yeah, let's go. I worked hard to get that one.
I actually talked about how I'm on forest fire last time, so I guess Frank over here is my deputy warden.
I'm his junior boss. Then there's a bigger boss in front of me.
Technically, is he mine too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
well,
so.
I mean, he ranks over you, but he's not really your boss.
No, but there's nobody in mine.
I don't know.
I'm at large now, so everybody bows down to me.
But I'm Will's boss. I just want to clarify that.
I just want to clarify, I'm at full civilian status, so they have no power over me. So.
Oh, man. Hey, Frank, before you got here, where'd you go?
I actually went to someone else's house by accident.
So we had called Frank early this afternoon to ask him to come on tonight, and I guess he never knew where we were doing it.
Check these out. Brandon's texted me and said I have a surprise for tonight. 16-ounce aluminum bush lattes.
Those are pretty legit.
Yeah. Hey, you want one, Will? Too bad.
Yeah, it might not seem like it, but there's something real special about aluminum bottles. I don't know what it is, but I very much enjoy aluminum bottles. And these ones say Bush Latte, and they're the only aluminum Bush bottles that we can actually get over here. So, how's it taste? Does it taste better?
Oh, it tastes like a latte. Starbucks.
Frank, how was your twisted tea?
Nectar of the gods.
Twisted.
It's twisted.
Yeah.
Frank was the first guest that we had to bribe to get onto the podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is only our third podcast, and we're already bribing people.
Well, it's not even a bribe. It's more like a summoning. You had to present your offering to me, and then maybe I'll come.
Supreme Deputy Warden.
Yeah.
A 6-pack of twisted tea, and he was in.
Yep.
Hey, I mean, sometimes it doesn't take much.
Oh.
So anyways, we have some good topics we want to cover tonight. Brandon and Frank are both military veterans. Actually, Frank, you're still active, right?
Yep. Still in the guard.
Okay, so Brandon is a veteran, right?
Yeah, so I was never active duty. I was in the National Guard. That's what Frankie's into. So, say what you want. But I did 6 years. I was in field artillery. And I didn't serve overseas, but I had some pretty good experiences,
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely worthwhile. One of the main reasons I joined was because I was getting free college out of it, and then I just ended up dropping out of college after halfway through my second semester.
Brandon was big on the GI Bill.
Yeah, so I was I signed a 6-year contract, and then I made it through one semester, and then halfway through my second semester, I went to my guidance counselor. I said, I don't want to be here anymore. And they said, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't really know. So I dropped out, and then...
What school was it?
It was county college.
Yeah, get at him.
Yeah. SCCC.
So that's how you sign up for the Guard, and then they pay tuition?
So the New Jersey National Guard is actually a 100% tuition waiver state. So you can go... They have a list of 24 colleges that you can go to where that where the guard will pay 100% of that tuition.
Really?
And then they also give you like this. It's called a Montgomery GI Bill, and it's a Montgomery, right?
Well, for the tuition, the waiver thing, it's actually the schools have like a contract with the state where if a member in good standing goes to that school, it's not that the guard's paying for you, it's the school waives the tuition completely.
No. I'm talking about the GI Bill.
Yeah.
That's because the tuition waiver is separate.
Yes.
And then you got a GI Bill, and it basically pays you a certain amount of money every month, depending on how many college credits you're taking. So if you're taking, I think it's like 12 or more credits in a semester, they give you like $500 and something because the tuition waiver doesn't cover like books and like, you know, that stuff. What? So, but yeah, so I basically used like a semester and a half worth of the waiver, and then I just like did away with it, and then I had to like spend the next 5 years of my life just like basically just.
Well, you signed on. You didn't originally sign up for 6, did you?
No, it was 6. It was either 3 or 6 years.
I thought they gave you some type of signing contract or bonus, and then you.
No, they didn't give me. The Army did not offer me a bonus until I told them, like, until my contract was like just about over, and then they're like, oh well, if you want to stay, you know, we can give you like this. It was like something crazy. It was like a $30,000 sign-on bonus, and I didn't want to. It was like a cool experience, but I didn't really want to be there anymore.
You didn't picture it like long term.
No, I didn't. I definitely wasn't going to make it a long term thing. Like, it was cool because I met a lot of cool guys. Like, some of the best friends I ever had, I met through the Guard, and then got to go to like a few cool places, use some like really cool, like, you know, high tech equipment. But yeah, so they came to me, and the reason why they were giving such high bonuses was because the retention rate was down, which means more people were leaving than coming in. So then they start dishing out all this money, and I don't know. I heard like horror stories, and I'm sure some of your viewers who are, you know, veterans as well, like they can probably attest to this. People, when the military offers you a certain amount of money to stay, like a bonus, you get a certain percentage of that up front, and then at least this is how it works in the Guard, and then they span the rest of it out over your contract.
Gotcha.
So people are getting like $10,000 up front, and then, you know, now they've been in the Guard. You know, they signed another 6-year contract. 4 years later, they still haven't seen any of the other money, and they're literally fighting to get the rest of their bonus.
Really?
Yeah. So if you wonder why retention is down in the military, it's because, you know, believe it or not, the military doesn't exactly, you know, hold up their certain standards, I guess.
Frankie, what do you have to say about that?
He is right. I mean, the bonus thing's a nightmare, but to my understanding, now I could be wrong about this, it was if you signed for a waiver, you got half of it up front, and then you got the other half at the end of whatever the obligation was you signed for. So that way, like if you stop showing up, you go AWOL or anything like that, then they pull what they were going to pay you, and then like say you get flagged for PT failure or some type of misconduct, you have to pay back whatever that bonus is, and you're still obligated. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
that's
good
true.
thing Will didn't
That's
join
true.
because he can't do PT worth.
I would have been in trouble. I would have been paying that $15,000.
You want to see Will run a mile? Yeah, okay.
Okay, but Frank, I'm just gonna throw this out here. If you want to see the least high-speed individuals in any branch of the military, join the National Guard, because 90% of them are lazy, like severely overweight, and they can't shoot. Okay, so I don't know what it is. It's, you know, it's something with the Guard. I think it's because they're living 2 lives: a civilian life and a military base life, and you know, so they go through all the same motions of, you know, normal life, you know, like a really bad diet.
Would you say they're not as focused or like committed? Or?
I wouldn't say they're not like as focused, but it's harder to like keep people in the Guard proficient, because if you're only training 1 weekend a month, on whatever your job is, and then like let's say 2 or 3 weeks in the summertime, you can only be so proficient at your job. Right. Luckily, in my unit, we did really well as far as like when you have that month where you're not at drill, most of the guys didn't forget about all the other stuff that we did prior to that, like that month before. So like the guys in my unit were like pretty on top of it, but there was some dirtbags for sure. Yeah.
Well, there's dirtbags wherever you go.
Well, yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Frank, what's your story? How did you get involved in the garden?
Oh, so fun fact, you actually got involved because of Brandon over there.
So Brandon just spent 10 minutes ripping the garden.
Yeah.
I'm not ripping the guard. I'm just saying like it works for some people, but it wasn't like my cup of tea.
It definitely has its pros and cons. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, sometimes like when the cons are happening, you're really regretting it. But when you're getting all those pros, it's like, yeah, I'm kind of glad I did.
So you've had a pretty different experience than Brandon. So Brandon, you said you were in field artillery?
Yeah.
And Frank, you're what?
I'm a military police, 31 Bravo.
Dope.
Yeah. So I know we're probably hated by everyone. It's like a universal thing.
It makes you admit it,
It's a lot of fun though. I mean, we're kind of there's a joking saying that MP stands for multi-purpose, and that's true. I mean, we get called up more than, as far as I know, more than anyone else in the state. Like field artillery, the infantry guys. I mean, I can't really speak too much on what they do because I'm not high up there. I don't know who gets put where, but
we don't do anything. Like we are the last. Like my unit was always the last one to get called for any type of mission. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. So you're right. We don't do a whole lot.
Oh yeah, so. No. I mean, like between like COVID and the civil unrest and all that stuff, our unit's been called up. They have people all over the place right now.
Didn't you just hold on? Have them walk through. So explain how many years you're in, how many years you've been in, and then like what you've done through your training and different things like that. And deployments and stuff.
I enlisted in 2017. I did AIT and basic, which was like OSA, one station unit training in Fort Leonard Wood. I hate Missouri and I'll never go back. The weather there is not.
It's hot, right?
Nah. So I graduated February of 2018, and I got to my unit, and I was only there for about 2 months, and then I volunteered to go on a year-long deployment to Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. So, I mean, I'm like pretty much brand new, and I'm already going overseas. It was only 30 of us that went, so we did that for a year, came back. Things were like pretty calm for that year, and then all hell broke loose. I mean, you got COVID, you got all the civil unrest stuff, and it's not just like the whole unit will get called up. Sometimes they'll only take like 20, 30 people.
How many people are in the unit?
About 150 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think our max is pretty close to that.
Now, what determines on who gets chosen for that? Your rank?
Not really. They try to take like an even amount of people. So obviously you don't want all sergeants because who's going to tell who to do the grunt work?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends all on the mission. I mean, like there's some missions happening in state, and they'll take people that live closer to that where the mission's happening because, maybe the state doesn't have the money to put them in hotels or boarding and stuff like that, so they'll send them home. And if they're outside a certain range, then they kind of have to pay for a hotel and stuff, so they'll only take people that live within like a certain radius of where the mission's happening.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, things for out of state, though, it's like, gloves off, because usually it's the federal government paying for it. Right. So, I mean, it's, Uncle Sam's paying for the whole trip, so they don't care. Hotels. I was just in D.C. for the Freedom Trucker
Hold on. So let's back up. So walk me through your deployment to Cuba. Or if you whatever you can say about it. If not, don't say anything.
It was sandy. There was a lot of iguanas. Fun fact: iguanas are actually endangered, and I think I was like an E2, E3 at the time. So the amount of money.
What does that mean?
It's your pay rate. So everybody starts off at an E1. That's like a private. Then E2 is private first class.
Yeah, well, come on. Get with the program
wait,
here.
did I get that wrong?
E1 is private.
E2 is private.
But you actually have a
chevron, and then 3 is the PFC.
Yeah.
So I think I was like in the PFC. So the salary, the combined amount of money I would have made while I was there would have been like just about enough to cover it if I killed an iguana and I got the fine. So everybody was pretty careful about not running them over and stuff because they're all over the place. They're pretty big too. I mean,
are they really?
Yeah, they're eating like scrap and garbage and stuff.
They're all over the place, and they're an endangered species. Or?
Well, okay, so on our side of the fence, they're endangered. On the Cuban side, they're also endangered, but they're considered like a delicacy, and they eat them and kill them all the time over there. So you don't see them over there at all. And on our side, it's like an animal sanctuary, so they don't get touched at all.
It's a petting zoo.
Yeah. All right, so you went to Cuba.
Yeah, so I was there for a year. Then I came back. I think things were calm for a little bit, and then we got called up for a whole mother load of things. This is my third time going to D.C., so 3 times in D.C. They had all sorts of other stuff happening in state with like COVID missions and stuff like that, helping out nursing homes, all sorts of crazy stuff. So it's the mission tempo is getting pretty high, and they're starting to see like a pretty big drop in retention because it's messing with people's lives too much. Because another thing is, if if you get activated and it's less than 30 days, you don't get called BAH, which is basic allowance for housing, and then you're getting like not a lot of money. So if you're like the primary breadwinner for your household, and you don't work like a civil service job where you can double dip and get your employer check and the military thing, you're hurting for cash. Yeah. So it's
a good point.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of people. They're like starting to drop out. People aren't really staying in, and it's just because they're calling us up for a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah. So can we talk about your first? I guess that would be a deployment to DC.
I would call it a mobilization.
Yeah. I mean,
can we talk about what you had to guard while you were there, or no?
Just the monuments. I mean, that's fine. My particular unit, we sat outside the Lincoln Memorial, Martin Luther King, Vietnam, World War II, the Washington Monument.
Were these like during specific events or something?
Yeah, this was during
Antifa and all that, right?
Antifa and BLM were down there. So they called that like the civil unrest. I forget what the name of the whole task force thing was, but it was pretty laid back. We didn't really see anything where we were. We had like a couple crowds just pass through, but no one really stopped to mess with us or anything like that.
What were you? What was your gear set up?
Oh, so we had plate care. You had your body armor, your ACH, which is your helmet. Just regular battle rattle. We had firearms with ammunition for like the first 2 days we were there. Then it was just firearms. Then it was nothing.
What? They had you there with nothing?
Yeah. Well, everybody was deputized. You're deputized like a special police officer, like for DC Capitol Police or Metro Police, something like that. So like they harp on this a lot. Your job is solely to just be like eyes and ears, and if something actually happens, you're calling the real police. Like they drill into your head that just because you're an MP doesn't mean you're actually a cop. You have like zero authority over anybody.
Really?
So that's why they had to deputize us in case something did happen, we would be covered. And then that's another thing, like it wasn't really that bad, so did they really need the risk of having us with armed? Because if something did happen, then that's a liability for the state, the government, us.
Yeah, but then tell me, like, say, okay, the first day you were armed with ammo, the next day you were armed, no ammo, the third day you had no guns. What happened if like something happened on the third day and you were all there with no guns?
I mean, DC is a very well protected area, so there was. They got a lot of agencies in there. We saw a whole bunch of suits walking around, and you always had like.
I am forgetting about the fact that it's like our nation's capital is the most loaded place.
It's not like the president doesn't live there. Right?
Yeah. So we did have like a couple of uniformed officers with us. I mean, there's people just like walking around blending in with the crowd that were probably police, but they don't really tell us anything.
I wonder how many planes are legit like circling that place at every moment.
AC-130,
yeah, like the drones and stuff.
I doubt that. That's too much collateral damage. They wouldn't shell that place.
That's the big gunship, right?
Yeah.
What's the Warthog one?
Warthog.
Yeah.
You mean like
Well,
the
you're playing
A10?
too much Call of Duty.
I'm
Will.
not. I'm just. I've seen videos. That thing is freaking.
Too much Warzone.
You're thinking of the A10 with the big.
It's like
It's a 30 millimeter Grau cannon in it. It's got like 6 barrels.
dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just like do 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 do.
Nah, it's
Right?
just
You
one
ever
big
seen a video of that thing?
Oh,
Yeah, that one.
That machine gun.
Those
one.
things are tanks. They literally built the plane around the weapon system.
How big are they?
Dude, it's like it's smaller. It's like a fighter jet size.
Yeah, it's about the size
How,
of a regular.
well, I mean,
like,
how big is the
single
gun?
seat. It's huge.
It's a 30 mil gun.
yeah.
It's got like
It's like
yeah.
a 6 barrel 30 millimeter gun.
So when I was in Camp Pendleton, California, they showed us I think they were Apache helicopters, and they had like the belt fed machine guns. Is that what you're talking about? That were like, there was like a whole like 6-inch dump tube that the shells would fall out
Is that
of.
operated by a guy or?
No, it was all
No,
with like
no.
controls, and it would just be like, bzzz, and it would like just.
So you know, like a Gatling gun.
That's
how
what it
has
looked like.
6 barrels and it spins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it
So
was.
it's that, but 30 millimeters. It's made for killing armor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think this
Dude,
one. This one may not have.
You
been
watch
that
a video
big.
on this thing, you're like,
Like what?
dude, it's crazy. I'm just saying, watch a video. But anyway,
Too much Warzone.
I don't even know what that is. What is it? Is that a video?
Yeah, good one.
Nerd.
Call of Duty.
Nerd.
All right. So, do you have anything else you want to say about that, Frank?
What in particular?
I don't know anything
Did,
about the
did
guard.
you did you
whatever.
enjoy your time down there? And what do you think about the guard in general?
I like it. I would probably re-enlist, but I mean, it also you know, you got to take a lot of stuff into effect. So, depending on what your job is and your unit is, you know, you may have really great like command staff and people that are over you that make it just such a great and enjoyable environment. And they, you know, even though like some crappy things may be put on you as like a whole to like the entire unit, you know, they're fighting to make sure, you know, you guys get days off and stuff like that. So they really do make a difference. I'm extremely happy with mine. I pretty much have made up my mind now I'm not going to be re-enlisting. That's not because of my unit or my overall experience with the guard, just because I don't want to stay in New Jersey anymore. So I want to get out of the state. So.
Where do you want to go?
I got some family down in Florida, so I was thinking about going down there to Ron DeSantis' paradise and seeing what it's like down there.
Is this like for a year or like for good?
Well, I mean, I want to see what it's like down there. I don't want to. I don't go around telling everybody. I'm definitely moving down to Florida because I might go down there. I might not like it.
Well, that's what
Well,
I did.
it's
I
nice.
definitely was going to leave here, and I went to Iowa and Oregon. Iowa for 6 months, Oregon for a year, and I'm like, I really like New Jersey.
Sitting right
Sussex
here in the
County.
kitchen.
I know.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if I really like in Florida and the nearest unit they have is an MP unit and it's not on the other side of the state, and maybe ask around, see what people think of it there. They love it. I might stay in for another 6 and then, try to get my 20 and then retire with it because then that's another pension I get.
Yeah. What's your enlistment now?
Like, how long do I have till I'm out?
Well, how long did you sign up for, and
So
have you
I
re-enlisted
signed up
once
for
before?
6 years, and
Okay.
March 27th of this month is I have 1 year left, so.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support, sir. It's always awkward answering that when
Yeah.
somebody asks you for it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Too much Call of Duty, Will.
Me?
Yeah.
Another thing, though, if you're in the Guard and you're interested in hunting or fishing, I highly suggest you look into taking advantage of the free hunting and fishing licenses afforded to active members of the New Jersey Army National Guard.
Oh, really?
Oh shoot, Frank. Okay. Frank has many titles, many names, as you can tell before. One of which can be, I don't know, the Turkey Whisperer. What's your title for that?
I'm
Frank?
not that good at turkey calling. It's just hunting them in general.
What do you
Frank
call
is an
yourself?
avid turkey hunter.
I joke around. I mess with people. It's more to get in the heads of other people. So that when they see my truck on the side of the road, they're like, I'm not even going to bother going into that spot.
But yeah, Frank is a big turkey hunter. That's your favorite thing, right,
Oh,
Frank?
I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's my favorite thing. It's probably because it's what the first time I ever went hunting was for turkeys. I didn't get one, but it was also what I was successful at first. I got turkeys first before I shot any deer. I also like warmer weather. I'm not a fan of sitting in some tree stand, freezing my butt off. You know,
Hey, all that new gear you got now.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to try it first, so like come fall. But
Frank bought a whole kit.
This was the first year that you tried duck hunting, or?
Oh yeah, no. So that's another thing why I love the guard. So the free hunting and fishing licenses. I'll hop off the bandwagon after this.
Frank shows me, he like, I don't know, we were turkey hunting last year, or I don't remember when it was. He had a stack this tall, 5 foot tall, that hit the floor of every hunting license they offer in the state.
Yep. So it's all free, and it's great because not only does it save you money on the things you definitely want to hunt, but normally I wouldn't have spent the extra money on the hip license, the duck stamp, the federal. The federal thing I still had to pay for.
Okay, yeah.
But literally, out of everything that I got this year, the only thing I had to pay for was 2 duck stamps, and that's because I lost one. I had to go and buy another one. But I mean, I would have never tried duck hunting or any of that other stuff that you need like special permits and tags for, because the going rate for some of that stuff is like 20. You know.
Yeah, if you want to go, like, especially if
it adds up.
Yeah.
If you're not like. It always seems like the first time you're going to go duck hunting, it's like the last day of the season. You're going to buy the $35 shotgun license.
I feel like it's pheasant usually, too.
Yeah. It's just like you're going to spend $60 to go one time or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky. My brother is like very experienced in it. So really all I did was tag along and bring a gun, you know?
Yeah.
So
and you guys killed ducks, right?
Yeah, we did pretty good. I mean, the ducks weren't really coming down, he said, because it was too warm. I'm not really sure
When'd you go?
I mean, we went out like every day we could from opening till end. But he said like it wasn't, the cold fronts didn't really push him out of like Canada and stuff until
opening day this last season was super warm.
Yeah.
That might have been.
I don't know too much about it. This is my first year going out. The only thing I was hoping for is I shot a banded thing, because they were all hyping that up. You know, like, you're not a real duck hunter until your lanyard's like completely covered in these little aluminum bands.
Hey, I know some guys that hunt on like the state bands in specific areas. I know a couple kids that hunt right where they band in New Jersey, and they have 30 bands, but every one is from down the street or whatever. It's stupid.
Yeah.
That, I'm like, that's not even fun.
There's a construction project that we're working on right now, and in that area they must ban the birds, because like out of a group of 15 there'll be like 10 bands. I'm not lying.
Okay, we're gonna move on. You have to tell me. I'm gonna have to write that down.
Yeah, I hunt mad duck, by the way. I'm the biggest duck hunter here, if anyone was wondering.
What's your favorite duck?
Actually, PSA. I'm actually the only non-hunter on this podcast. Okay. It's not that I'm anti-hunting. I just let other people hunt, and then I reap the benefits. So I don't have a whole lot of time built into my day. I have a busy schedule. I work a lot.
No excuse.
What?
No excuse.
No excuse.
Brando, if there's one hunting game that you'd like to try.
Well, I always like hunting, like
what if you could hunt anything, you know?
Oh, well, I always told Tyler that if I was gonna hunt, I would do duck hunting. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I feel like that's it's probably the most exciting.
To me, that's the most exciting. You know,
that's how I got into it too.
Yeah, you're right there on the action. So
Will got into it as soon as Will started going. We stopped killing geese. So
Tyler says this every podcast, every hunt, every video.
Will's bad luck.
He blames it on me.
Hey. You know, a funny memory that I just thought of, Frank. Do you remember the one time we were hunting on that piece of state land, maybe 2 years ago, and we had a couple kids with us, and the game warden had stopped?
Oh yeah, no, he knew me by name too. Yep. Well, we can thank my brother for that, but yeah, I do remember him checking me and being like, "Dude, like you got 14 turkey permits. What do you what do you need 14 permits for?" I'm like, "Listen, I get them for free through the guard. Yeah. It opens up my time. I can go to different places at different, intervals in the season. Mm-hmm. I would have normally only gotten like A and E period and maybe like D." And just kept at that, but because of the guard, I'll take all of them.
Well, that's so. For those of you that don't know, the way the New Jersey turkey season is it's set up by. There's 4 different tags. There's A, B, C, D, and E. The season is over the course of 4 weeks, so you can hunt A, B, C, and D are one for each week. It's good for 6 days because you can't hunt on Sundays. And then the E tag is for the 4 Saturdays. That's normally what I get.
Oh, don't forget that D week is also 2 weeks long, and I think either both weeks or the last week you can hunt all day. Because normally here you can only hunt till lunchtime, and then you gotta pack your bags. But D week, that's why it's sought after, because everybody's pretty much given up after.
Yeah.
After like A, B, if somebody's really trying, they'll go to C. But D's my favorite
Open
time
game,
to go
yeah.
out all day. The turkeys aren't used to get messed with after lunch and stuff.
Did someone fart?
I didn't know.
No.
I think Will farted.
Dang it, Will. Too much Call of Duty. So, yeah.
How many years have you been hunting turkeys?
Since 13, but you got to minus like the year I was in Cuba and the year I was in Cuba. So
Do you want a Grand Slam, Frank?
Yeah, probably. That's like on the bucket list.
I want to. Now that I was in Oregon, I got to kill a Rio. I really want a Grand Slam.
Yeah.
What's a Grand Slam?
You harvest all the subspecies of turkeys.
Yeah, so I think there's 5 different species. So there's Easterns. In Florida, there's Osceolas. In Montana, there's Miriams. And then there's
Goulds on like the southern
Goulds.
Texas-Mexico border.
And then there's Rios. That's 5, right? I think there's 5 or 6.
Oh, I think Rio's another name for Goulds. And then you have the ocellated, which are the ones that...
That's in Florida.
No, the ocellated ones are the ones that are colored like peacocks, and they're in Mexico. They're on that like Yucatan Peninsula or whatever that's called. You've never seen pictures of them?
I may have, but I thought the Grand Slam is only the U.S. birds.
I could be wrong.
I don't know. You have to look up the Pinhoti project and see what he does.
I haven't really looked too much in every bird I've killed's been in New Jersey, so I've never gone out of state.
Oh, I have those Rio feathers still for you at my house. You told me, I still have them.
Yeah, you should have picked them up when you stopped over there an hour ago.
Your dad was like, "Who the hell is this?" Banging on the door with a judge's gavel.
Is that what you have?
Yeah. So this right here, I actually bought this from the gift shop in the Capitol building. I walked around the gift shop. So the senators of New Jersey knew we were down there, and they actually I didn't get to meet any of them, but they actually set up to have their aides give us a tour. So we got to go on a tour in the building, and I loved it. I'm like big into history and stuff, so I've never really been inside it. And at the end, they brought us to the gift shop, and I was in there for probably 30 minutes thinking, like, what's the thing that really suits me? And I saw the judge's gavel away on the top shelf, and I was like, give that to me. I want it.
You should round off the bottom and use it as your turkey scratcher.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Though. I was thinking about giving this to, like, the District Wardens Association.
They have one already.
Yeah, they have some cheap one, like wood somebody did in their backyard. This actually came from the Capitol building, though. So
I have a question.
Shoot it.
I actually have a question for you guys. Tables have turned. So how's business going in the Whispering Wild world?
The joke is everybody calls us Whispering Wilderness.
Yeah, Whispering Wilderness, Backland Outdoors. That was the old channel.
Inland.
Backdoor Inland, right?
Backdoor.
It was a channel with many names. So, how's business doing? You guys are pushing out videos like once a week, right? Religiously, once a week.
Yeah.
Since August.
Yeah.
How is it working for Tyler, Will?
Yeah, how is it working with me, Will?
Yeah, does he give you any days off? Does he pay well? Like, what's going on here?
I heard the pays really well.
Here's your chance to lay it all out on the table, Will.
No, it's for those of you who don't know, this past year was the first year that we kind of kicked off this channel. We had rebranded Tyler's old channel, and it's been good. No, I think we've definitely learned a lot. We've before the season kind of kicked off, before the 2021-2022 hunting season kicked off, we had talked a lot about what we wanted to accomplish, what we wanted to try and do. And I think we did a lot of what we set out to do. We stuck to our guns, which was good. We learned a lot, what things work, what things don't work. I think as partners, especially with the deer hunting, it took us a while to kind of get into a groove
Which I told you, like,
Yeah, it takes, especially with the saddle hunting in particular.
When you start hunting, like, it's one thing by yourself because you have a system. Once you start hunting with somebody else, like, they have their way of doing things, you have yours, and then to mesh together and work as a team is difficult, which I told you.
Yeah, but
you
were pretty new to hunting though, right?
Yes.
You learned pretty much as you went along. So Tyler instilled his ways to you.
Before we kind of, before this year and the previous year, deer hunting was pretty new to me. So this was like the first time that I kind of learned the ropes.
Would you say that I'm your Jedi? No, my young Padawan. You have much to learn.
No. If we had killed like 460-inch deers, maybe.
Okay. We have to train him still. He's not there yet.
Yeah. Too much Call of Duty.
400. Okay, I got your math now. I thought you said a 460-inch deer. I'm like,
I said four like 160-inch deers.
We're not trophy hunters.
No, but
we were sought out after a mature deer.
We spent a lot of time, looking.
Yeah. So basically, Will and I, the way that I hunt is the hunter has the overall say. So like
the final decision, not the overall say, but like the final call.
When you're a cameraman for a company or like even a freelancer, you do whatever the hunter says.
Right.
And that's the way that I've learned to do it. And coming back and Will being my partner, I value his opinion. So like,
it's a little bit different than just.
It took a while for us to mesh together because like I'd be like, all right, Will, let's go do this, and he'd be like, no, let's go do that. Maybe it wasn't that drastic.
Yeah, no.
But it took the whole hunting season for us to finally get to a place where like, I don't know. When you and your cameraman work, and Will's not my cameraman, he's my partner, just so you know. But when you hunt together, I don't know how to say it. Like, I guess it's not just like Tyler does whatever he wants, because I hunted this year and Will mainly filmed.
Right. I think it's different when you're just going out there by yourself, because you're used to making whatever decision you want to make, without anybody else giving you any feedback or judgment. And then
if you make the decision, it's your fault.
Right.
When Will's up there with his brown snack bag, crumbling around in the tree stand, and I want to absolutely strangle him. That's some of the stuff. The first hunt, Will has a brown bag. I said, no more brown bags.
How many times were you in your Yeti koozie, like clinking around all over the place?
Will got mad I drank coffee all the time.
No, because he'd always be clinking around, hitting rocks, hitting this.
Yeah, but coffee's like, if you're out there early in the morning, you gotta have it.
Yeah, but I would be tiptoeing through the woods.
That's a recipe.
It's all coming out. It's all coming out. Frank,
it doesn't matter. If you're around here, you can do whatever you want. It's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Frank, when you're turkey hunting, what are you in stealth mode, or how are you doing it?
No, I'm smoking my pipe. When I used to smoke it, I actually gave that up. Like,
oh, did you really?
Yeah, about 8 months ago.
Good for you.
Yeah. So this vape here is on like the bare minimum of nicotine. The next drop is 0, and then I'm done. So
okay,
yeah, I used to smoke tobacco out of a pipe a lot. It was an old school thing, and I've shot deer out of a tree stand smoking a pipe.
Hey, play the wind, man. Play the wind. That's all it is.
It's just luck, Turkey hunting, I mean, who knows if they can smell or not? I don't think so, because they've never picked me up sitting there in the hedgerow with my pipe stoving because I'm nervous.
I just picture him sitting up against like Gandalf.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I mean, that's just the way it is. It takes a whole hunting season for you to figure it out. Basically, my point, to close my point out, when you get to a point where you don't need to even talk, when you know what each other's going to do, when you're hanging sets in your saddle, like saddle hunting or tree stand hunting, whatever, and you don't have to talk and you have a system, that's like, it's hard to get to that point, I would say.
It did take us probably a whole season. I mean, midway we got proficient, but it wasn't.
But it's hard to get past like the let's do this, let's do that,
I think that the biggest thing that you can do is set a game plan before, and then obviously things change in the field, so you have to make adjustments. But I mean,
you got a good thing going on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just throw that out there. Like, you got a good thing going on. I watch the videos every week. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been a believer in this channel since the beginning days.
Before Will was there.
Yeah, it was almost better before Will. You know, it was a lot more. It was a lot more raw.
What videos do you like watching? The deer, the
Well,
waterfowl?
I mean, to me, it doesn't really matter. Like, I enjoy watching all of them. You know, I think it's like it's different. It's different for me because part of my enjoyment is actually like watching like two guys that I know go out there. And, you know, you guys are, like, doing a bunch of stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Because you know us.
Yeah, because I know you. But at the same time, like, I try to picture myself from the outside looking in, like, not knowing you guys. Mm-hmm. And I see the camera work. I see the editing. I see the, you know, I see all these little factors, you know, play in. I was like, this is, like, quality stuff, you know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, Tyler has a lot of experience in this field. You know, he's been doing it, you know, I guess you could say professionally for, you know, few years now. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you guys are passionate about it too, so that's cool. That definitely helps. Like, I was just over your house the other day when you broke the thermostat on the wall. You know,
you can touch on that if you want.
Yeah. So we'll get to we'll get to that in a second. So when I came over the other day, I just popped in because me and Tyler only live like right down the road from each other. So
yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah, not even. It's like 3 minutes. But when I popped in, you know, you and Melissa were sitting there, and you know, she's just laying down. And what are you doing? This is last Sunday. Mm-hmm. You know, you're sitting there, you're editing. You know, you're putting in the work. You're doing all the stuff. Like, your free time, if you're not with your girlfriend, you're on the computer. You know, doing all this stuff.
Yeah, so, definitely.
And you work a full-time job. You know, you're practically, you know, and you were in school at one point. Mm-hmm. You know, so
I just finished.
You're balancing like a whole life, you know, plus school, plus it being in a relationship, plus doing YouTube, and it was just like all this stuff at once, and like you never skipped a beat. So
honestly, I would say that I like, even though I do a lot of the editing and everything, like Will was a big support.
Yeah.
To push me to make sure everything was done.
I think having somebody else, you know, is constantly
to hold me accountable.
Yeah,
hold each other accountable.
Accountability is a big thing.
Yeah,
when you know somebody else is counting on you to get something done or expecting for something to be done, it's a bit different than doing stuff on your own time.
Yeah.
Going back to the thermostat thing though, so I go over his house on last Sunday. I just, you know, I came back from the grocery store. Like I said, you know, I pass like his road on my way home.
What'd you pick up at the grocery store?
Coffee. I got a lot of coffie.
Didn't you get creamer?
Yeah,
Starbucks?
a special Starbucks creamer that is like it's super good. I was really excited about it. Like, Starbucks has a real special creamer on those grocery store shelves. So, yeah. So I'm on my way home, and then I call up Tyler's brother Austin because I hang out with Tyler's brother Austin a lot too. He's a couple years younger, but you know, I see him quite often. Mm-hmm. And I'm driving back, and I call up Austin. And I say, hey, you know, I think your parents were gone. And I was like, hey, let me just stop in. Like, I'll hang out, say hi to everybody. It was, you know, Tyler and Melissa and Austin just at the house. I was like, yeah, you know, I'll pop in, see what's up. So I pop in. Tyler's on the computer editing a video. And then he's like, he gets all excited. He's like, you want to see all my podcast gear? And I was like, yeah, sure. He brings me in the garage, which, by the way, Tyler's garage is like, it looks like, I hope your parents see this video.
Frank, did you make it in the garage when you were there?
No.
Yeah.
Your dad shooed me away.
Yeah, it literally, Tyler's garage literally, and like, bless his parents' soul, because the fact that Tyler has not been kicked out of that house, you know.
Oh, you just gave up that I still live at home.
You can edit that. Hey,
houses are super expensive right now.
You're between jobs, which I fully blame all the people that are fleeing the policies in the cities and buying houses up here because they...
Talking to your mic. Otherwise, everyone's gonna be saying this.
Do you care that people know they used to live at home?
No, so
Tyler's got some big plans, all right, and he's
gonna build a dope house.
Yeah, he's gonna execute those plans. And you also have to take into consideration Tyler just moved back from Oregon like not that long ago. So what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna get back on your feet. You were in school. You're gonna get back on your feet. You're gonna move back in with your parents. No shame in that.
Well, how old are you, Tyler?
I'm 20. I'm 26.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because Tyler's been living on his own.
Well, I'm saying I'm 25 and I still live.
Yeah,
at
home.
there's
no shame in it. But anywho, like I said, bless his parents' souls the fact that he hasn't been kicked out because I stepped foot in that garage. It looked like
walk me through what you saw in the garage.
It looked like a scene out of a post-apocalyptic movie. Okay, it was like
there's
was intense.
Fur hanging everywhere.
Yeah, there's like muskrat fur hanging, all over the place.
Beavers too.
Yeah, beavers and so he gets all excited about this podcast. We're getting off topic here, but he gets all excited about this podcast gear, and he's like showing me all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I want to show you like all the mics and everything." So the garage door is connected to his room, so we walk back through that door, and then we walk through the hallway, go into the living room where all the boxes were. Numbnuts over here like swipes his arm across the wall.
I don't know where the hell I put my phone, but whatever. It's probably my truck still.
Do we need to pause?
Nah, we're good.
So Numbnuts over here, like I don't even know what you're doing. I'm walking right behind you, and he like swipes his arm past the wall, and
I like spun around.
You like spun around or something, and it rips the thermostat right off the wall. And we're talking. This is like an old school thermostat. This is the one with like the dial.
Yeah. Everything in my parents' house is redone except the stupid thermostat.
Yeah. So Tyler immediately goes into panic mode and just starts researching YouTube videos, and he came to the conclusion that they needed a new thermostat. Ended up being a pretty easy fix, but it turned into an all-day ordeal. So I went to Home Depot.
Mm-hmm. Was this all while they were away?
Yeah.
Did you tell me broke it?
It was fixed, though, by the time they got back, so they were happy.
I probably never should have even said anything and just been like, hey, I did something really nice for you, but...
You use it as leverage,
Of course, I had my little brother, Austin, just yapping his beak at me.
Yeah, shout out to Austin. Yeah.
A-Bug.
Yeah, I love that kid. But, so that turned, me going in there and just, like, saying hi to everybody, peeking my head in, just, hanging out for a couple minutes, turned into an all-day affair. Went to Home Depot.
And McDonald's.
That was my only thing.
Is that when you ate McDonald's in the back of Austin's truck?
Yeah. And
we were in Austin's truck last night.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. But yeah, so
we don't need to go there.
I always get like sudden cravings for McDonald's, and it usually happens if I'm like not doing anything that day. I'm just like chilling out, and yeah, so sudden craving for McDonald's. I love a good Big Mac and fries and maybe some McNuggets in there. So
Frank, you make any sweet purchases lately?
Yeah, I heard you were at Simon Peter earlier.
Oh yeah.
No, more reckless decisions.
Well, I want to hear. I made a reckless decision this week, so I want to know what you did.
I don't know. We're mainly shopping on the market for some Glocks.
What do you mean some Glocks, plural?
Some Glocks.
Who's we?
Me. I use a pretty outdated gun at work, so I was looking to upgrade to maybe a 17 MOS because I'm all about the high-speed stuff, having like an RDS and a light and stuff on there, decking out the trigger. I mean, my 48, my like everyday carry, the only thing stock on that is like the lower and the slide itself, and even the slide was like milled out. Different spring, different barrel.
Wait, did you have it milled out for a red dot?
No. Well, yes, this particular slide on this receiver was. I do have an MOS slide because I have two 48s that I don't use, but that's just because I sent this one out and got like, I had Jaeger Works do a bunch of crazy stuff.
How much is it to get your slide milled for a red dot?
Different people do different prices. Jaeger Works does a pretty good job from my understanding, but their wait time is pretty long. Like I think they had my slide for probably about like 5-6 months, and I was kind of getting because the main thing was I really wanted the bob cut done because I don't know if you've ever looked at a 48. It almost looks like a double barrel the way the the guide rod plug on the bottom sticks out. I hate that. That like flares my OCD up too much. So when I finally got it in, I think to have the bob cut, the RMR cut out, because that was just a regular 48 slide, and to get
the Trijicon RMR.
No, I have so the 48's a slim line, so I have the Shield RMSC on there. It was like specifically designed to go with the MOS model. So that's what I had on the MOS slide. And then once this slide came in, I took the other one off and put this on here.
If you could give me a quick guess at what it costs to get it milled out, what would you say?
Depends on what you want to get. Just the red dot, maybe like $200.
Is it that much?
Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, the red dot itself is like, if you get like a good one, $400 to $500, $550.
I want to get the it's a Vortex Viper, I think. The pistol one.
Yeah. I don't really have experience with Vortex's pistol red dots. I have I think it's the Viper.
The Venom.
The Venom.
I just got the Venom from my shotgun.
Yeah, that's what I have on my turkey shotgun too. But as far as pistols go, I have a Delta Point Pro, a Trijicon RMR, a Shield RMSC, and I'm going to be purchasing another Trijicon SRO, the bigger circle one.
Really?
Yeah, that's going to go on the FNX 45 because it's a big gun and it deserves a big red dot.
You remember that brown bag I was talking about before in the tree stand?
I'm starving, all right? Relax.
Last time we went snow goose hunting, you gave me those and you're like, I hate these things.
Did you guys get any?
We killed 6.
6? Did you have like a lot show up though? Did you have a lot show up?
Yeah, there was a lot of birds, but we only had a couple flocks do it, and we only killed 6. Some kid gave me 3 rounds of tungsten.
Oh, jeez.
Which you made me give him Black Cloud for.
Yeah, shut up, Will. So this kid's like, not this kid, one of our friends was like, hey, man, he had this box of tungsten. I'm like, dude, how do you like shooting that stuff? It was federal TSS, which is, I don't know, $50 or $60 for 10 rounds.
It's what is it? It's $350 for a box of 100, so $2.50.
Yeah, $3 a shot or something.
$3.50, so $35 a box.
So
of 10.
Our buddy he's got all this ammo, and I'm like, dude, how do you like shooting that stuff? Blah blah blah. And he's like, here, my dad bought it or whatever, and I took it from him. You want to shoot some? And I'm like, no, I don't want to take your ammo. That stuff's super expensive. He's like, no, I really don't care. And Will's like, yeah, I'll take it.
That's not even close.
100%. Will tried backdooring me real quick. And
I was like, you know what? What does he do? What does Tyler do?
I said,
he
I'll
grabs
take
the ammo.
And I said, look at Will.
Will, give him some of that Black Cloud. And I said, all right, throw me a shell of the TSS.
Do as you're told, all right?
Throw me a shell of the TSS. No. I'm not doing that.
I feel like that was a very worthy trade. Well, I mean, less for the individual.
No,
but
that kid hooked Tyler up.
In my defense, our other buddy, John, who's been on the podcast, accidentally bought a whole case of the federal TSS by accident. And Will got a whole box of it, 10 rounds, which I didn't get. Will traded like 2 boxes of what?
I think Black
Cloud for 25, so 50 shells for 10 of the TSS, which I didn't get because he didn't want to trade me. He only wanted to trade Will. So I got this TSS and I whaled all 3 shots. I don't think I hit anything.
So you guys use Black Cloud. What kind of chokes do you use in your guns? Because I mean, we have Pattern Masters, and
how do you like that?
I love them, but Stevie, my brother, always said don't use. I'm pretty sure it was Black Cloud with them because of that wad. It's
flight
like
control
glued
wad.
In. Yeah.
So I am shooting a Carlson cremator choke, ported, and there's no restrictions on it.
Yeah.
So I have a mid range and a long range. Actually, so my gun is it's like a flat dark earth barrel, and then the foregrip and stock is the mossy oak bottomland. And Rogers Sporting Goods actually had a deal. They did a collaboration with Carlson Chokes, and they had they had a collaboration with Carlson Chokes and the Rogers.
They did like a specific custom Rogers one.
Yeah, there was a customized Rogers Carlson ported cremator choke that was flat dark earth, which matched my gun. So I bought that, and it was in a mid range and long range kit for like $100 or something.
Yeah, it was $100.
So that's what I have for my gun, and then
I use a Kicks High Flyer ported.
Would you say, like, on average, because, I mean, like, this year's my first year waterfowl hunting. I can't tell you how many times I shot it when I could see it, like, take the pellets and then just keep flying.
Actually, so I'm not going to say any names of brands, but we've done some testing, Will and I. If you go ahead and talk about the brands, Will, and the different shot sizes and stuff.
Do we want to actually go through?
I wouldn't, no, you don't have to say any brand names, but talk about Will's been experimenting.
Yeah, so if you hunted for a few years, you come across a bunch of different shells and manufacturers. So we've like started collecting like a shell from each brand and each model
And shot sizes and stuff like that.
and we'll cut it open and just see what it looks like on the inside. And there's differences between high quality, low quality, expensive, non-expensive.
Big differences.
Yeah, and there's one manufacturer in particular that's very well known for budget ammunition. That when you cut it open, you'll be like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
You'll
seriously.
Be like,
I mean,
It's very surprising. You're like, I can't even believe. Like,
yeah,
once we cut it open and we like compared, you're like,
to another budget round.
to another budget round. You're like, there's just no way this stuff can be accurate.
What size were you shooting?
so I didn't actually pay for any of the ammo. My brother had bought a slat of the stuff. I think most of it was like number 2 shot
And what were you shooting?
ducks.
Ducks.
Yeah, and then we upgraded or maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe it was like 4 shot. So the boxes he had was like
Here,
there was
turn your mic so you can.
there was T, there was double T, there was all sorts of crazy stuff. So I mean, I don't know. Like all I remember is Goose. I would bring out whatever the T was, double T or like triple T, something like that.
So there's B, BB, triple B. There's also a T shot which is bigger
Yeah,
than B.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So my apologies. It was the B shot he had, and then we
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
one box of the T, and then for the ducks we were using, I want to say between like, it was either 2 or 4 shot. I remember I would always do like 4, and then the next 2 in the tube were like 2. So if the ducks flying away, I was
A little bit bigger shot.
throwing him bigger stuff at him, which was pretty. I mean, once I got like the aforementioned chokes, I was doing pretty well. But
Yeah, did that make a difference? Did you see?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't using that the Black Cloud though, so he specifically bought what ammo he had because of the chokes that we were using.
I think we use BB for Goose and then
BB for Goose, and then like 2 or 4s for ducks. Sometimes
Yeah.
3s.
Well, it's different though, right? Like if you're going early season for wood duck, you're using a bigger pellet, right? Than mallards, or no? It's the other way around.
Smaller pellet.
Yeah, smaller pellet. Because the ducks, the mallards and the black ducks, they usually have like a thicker.
They're much
down
bigger.
feather.
When
Yeah.
I went to, a lot of you that are listening probably know who Bobby Guy Films is. He has a guide service called Sandhill Flyways, and when I worked for Born and Raised, we went there to the Sandhill Flyways, and the guy Bobby Guy recommends 2 shot for everything. They use it for lessers, geese, ducks, everything. So I bought a case of Black Cloud number 2s, which I've always shot BB for geese, but I might start shooting the 2s now because I've got a whole assortment of different stuff I've been trying to use up before I start using the Black Cloud. And there's times where like going back to shooting the cheaper ammunition, like even though you're like, there's times like I know I'm hitting birds or aiming and like shooting where I should hit a bird and I'm not hitting them, or I'm crippling them or something. And I think that has to do with the cheaper ammunition that we've tested. Like if I shoot Black Cloud, I'm hitting birds more than I am with the cheaper ammunition.
Well, yeah, of course you're paying a premium for ammunition. Like same thing with turkey. I only use long beard XR. That's because I've patterned that my gun and I know I can kill a bird out the like push, and I mean like I know I'm never gonna see this bird again. So it's like my one time to shoot him like 65, 70 yards.
Have you shot any of the TSS stuff?
I was thinking about trying it this year, but I'm balling on a budget right now.
I know.
So,
I have seen the TSS, and it's for turkeys. extremely impressive.
I know. I've seen the videos and the demonstrations of people using 410s in states where
However,
it's illegal.
I think for a lead, I think it's lead, right? The Winchester Longbeard XR is lead. I think for a lead shot, that's probably one of the best ones because that's also what I shoot. The Longbeard XR 3.5s.
I like it because it's cheaper. I mean, if I had the money, I would definitely get in the.
Dude, I was just looking. It's like $75 for 5 rounds of turkey TSS. I'm not kidding.
He's not joking. That's how much it was when I was at Cabela's the other day.
They had it though.
Yeah.
Ammo's definitely starting to become more...
They always have it because no one wants to spend that much money to shoot a turkey.
Yeah.
Sometimes that surprises me though. Like, I've seen a lot of the times where the expensive stuff goes quick too.
Well, there's times where like the expensive stuff is good, but like not a ton of people are turkey.
It's
You're getting
tried
5 rounds for $75.
The tried and true stuff is what always flies, and usually it's the more expensive.
Yeah.
Like the TSS is relatively new. Like
the Longbeard probably goes quick.
Yeah, within the last 5 years.
Longbeard's been around a while, and everybody knows you can hit a turkey, with a good choke and everything.
Although I will say, out of my Stoeger M3000, I shot probably 10 different manufacturers, and Remington Nitro Turkey shot phenomenal out of it.
Yeah, well, it also depends on the gun too.
Yeah.
I mean, gun and choke combo probably pays as much as a factor as the ammunition itself.
I think patterning is a big deal. I previously just shot whatever, but once I started patterning,
I think patterning and just going out and practicing.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially for turkeys, you definitely want to pattern your gun.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I never did, and I've never missed a bird. Like, every time I pulled the trigger, I've dropped one, but they've all been relatively close. And now that, like, I went out and I got the Longbeard XR, and I tried a bunch of other brands. I sat down with a few other chokes. I mean, it's expensive to buy all those chokes and all those boxes of ammo. Then you got to go out and try the targets. And I shoot 3.5 exclusive for turkeys.
Yeah, so
go big or go home. Mm-hmm. Your shoulder hurts because I'm using the 870.
That's even worse. This the pump action.
Yeah, that's I'm not using like some fancy semi-auto. I haven't got around to buying like a dedicated turkey gun. Although the 870 is loaded out just for turkeys.
I would say that's probably the most popular turkey gun.
Yeah, it's a budget.
That and a Mossberg.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's because the 500 and the 870 have been around forever. Everybody has them. They're great.
What would your ideal, like, if you were to buy a gun right now for a top of the tier turkey gun? What would you buy?
No, probably Benelli. I know they have like the Turkey Performance Shop, I think it's called. I see them all the time.
$2,500.
Will's a big Benelli guy.
Yeah.
Will has a Winchester SX4. It's a semi-automatic. It's $1,000 gun. I have the same. A lot of us have the same gun. He also bought a on sale $300 Stoeger pump action.
I think it was
$250.
The
pump action Stoeger
P3500.
To be honest,
once he bought this pump action, never takes his Winchester SX4.
Really?
I do.
No.
I took it on the last hunt.
So if Will bought a Benelli, he'd never bring it.
I would.
Every turkey I've ever shot, it's only been one. I haven't had to like reload and shoot another one. So I mean, I think I'd be fine with like some.
Yeah, there's no need.
Break action single shot, but I mean, there's always that chance where you might have to, and I don't want to risk, the bird of the year missing it because I got some break action. I got to crack it open, slam another shell in there. But I mean, it would definitely be a tie between Beretta or Benelli. I mean, Stevie really got me hooked on the waterfowl this year. So they all, like him and Brian, use Beretta. So they were trying to like talk me out of looking at like a Super Black Eagle or something like that. But
dude, I don't know. You go to the sports shop and whatever, like, they're good. They're all good guns.
Yeah.
You hold one that you think is comfortable for you, and that's what you should go with.
I'm like a huge component for at least being able to shoot like what you're looking at before you buy it. There's a lot of like newer people and like my unit that will come up to me and they'll ask me about like handguns and stuff, like the great debate between SIG and Glock. I'm like, listen, I personally like Glock, but that's my personal opinion. I own SIGs as well, and I like them, but like it's really up to you to go out and find like two people that have both and try them and see which one feels better in your hands and which one you like shooting more.
What are your predictions on this year's turkey season?
It's going to be pretty bad. If last year was an indicator, it's going to be even worse this year.
Guess how many, I don't know, over by my girlfriend's property, her father caught 30 fox.
Yeah. It's
throughout
not
the area.
It's not like
30 or 40.
There's not in my opinion, there's not a problem though. I'm by no means a biologist and have like a scientific opinion, but I mean, think about it. They reintroduced turkeys to the area like back in the day. Those things blew up because they had this area that was just abundant in food and didn't have the predators. So of course the population skyrocketed. Now you have all these predators working their way down. A lot more people because of COVID are getting into turkey hunting.
Well, it doesn't help that the fur prices are down. Like even for myself and Will, my other buddy Will, we did like nobody's trapping anymore.
Oh no, 100%. That's like a reason as well. But I think it's a collection of multiple issues. I don't think people should be very scared about the decline in turkey population, but they should be worried.
Yeah.
Like I was panicking at first when I was like reading all this stuff because that's like my go-to is turkey hunting. I'm like, oh no. Yeah. But I started to realize, it's natural. They're starting to curve downwards, and then who knows, in 5 years it'll start to be up more and back and forth. COVID, you have all these people that are locked inside, not working. They're like, oh, let me try turkey hunting. I mean, spots that I went to, I knew the two other guys that hunted that spot by a first and last name. They were my competition, but I still knew them. Last year, there was like 15 cars there. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Are you interested in going out of state at all to turkey hunt?
Yeah, I already asked my brother about going to his spot, seeing if I can get one in New York. And then my dad moved out in New Jersey, so he now lives in PA. And every time I've gone to visit him, I've seen turkeys by his house. So we're going to look into that as well.
Leave a comment down below if we should go on a hunting trip with Frank to turkey hunt out of state.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we could definitely go to New York because
New York
or I mean PA. Because my dad lives right next to a very secluded piece of state land. Like people can't access it unless
there's a lot of PA state land not far from us.
Yeah.
Within an hour.
Yeah. So we could definitely go there to turkey hunt. New York, that's going to be a little iffy because I don't know about the spot too much. Stevie would definitely have to bring me. But
there's also quite a bit of New York State property close by, but
it's just those out of state licenses, man. I know they're gonna make my wallet hurt, even though I haven't paid for a license in like 6 years.
Brandon, closing thoughts?
That was super long closing thoughts, by the way.
Will?
2 bird limit.
Like I said, happy to be involved. Hope to make it back on here again.
Yeah, I hope so too. This was a lot of fun.
I would rather show up if Will wasn't here, but
I think he's handsome. I don't know why you got to.
I think Will's super handsome. I think he's a good looking guy. Yeah. I like messing around. I was messing around with you last night a little bit.
No, we have a good time when we go.
Yeah,
we got a good group of friends.
There's a video of Will sucking back a shot of Fireball with his knees on the ground.
There's a video?
Really? Yeah, in the middle of the bar. So, girls surrounding him.
Nice, Will.
Yeah.
Nice move.
Girls surrounding Will, and he's sitting there, and he's down in a shot of Fireball. All these females around him. It's pretty legendary. So, you're a legend, Will.
All right.
Thanks, Brando.
So, I'm happy to be here. Hope to do it again.
I appreciate all you guys coming on, Frank. Even though we had to bribe you, I'm really, really happy that you made it.
Next time you want to bribe me.
Okay. I guess my closing thought is, I'm not sure, but I really appreciate you guys listening and watching. This is a lot of fun. We really much enjoy the podcast, even though this is our third one. However, we are still looking for a permanent location that we can kind of decorate and build out to our studio. But until then, we are still bumping around.
Yep.
As far as that goes, I'll see you guys in the next one. Will, close it out.
Super stoked to have Brandon and Frank on this one.
Yeah,
I think
just go ahead and copy me, Will.
All are gonna have them.
The original, bud.
Them
The
back
original.
on another one. Maybe we'll switch it up with different people for each of you guys. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming on. We're looking forward to the next time we got you guys with us.
Frank, how would... Okay, sorry. We'll talk after.
This guy over here. This guy.
No, you might as well say it now. They're wondering.
Tyler said closing thoughts about 10 times.
Yeah.
You might as well.
We're
You
gonna
might as well.
Brandon.
Don't
Brandon's
worry.
not allowed on anymore.
Next time we're gonna practice that a little bit.
Go ahead, Tyler. Say it because they're all wondering now.
How would it be to have Brad on?
Dirt.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good
Brad's
question.
got-
That's a
That would
really
be
good question.
savage.
He's coming-
I definitely think you should have Dirt on
He's
the
gonna
podcast.
come with Carrie Ann. We can get the most out of
Nah.
him.
I think it would be
With
better
Carrie
if
Ann.
You gotta have-
you and Dirt or Carrie Ann and
It's
Dirt.
gotta be like me and Dirt.
I'd rather
I'm
have
his
I'd rather
antagonist.
I'd rather have Carrie Ann and Dirt separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because
Carrie
Carrie
Ann's
Ann-
got the most. She can bring out the most in him. She's got the most stories.
Yeah, you know, I love Carrie. Well, that is true.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
Will,
I worked,
Will does
I
bring
worked
up a
with
good
the
point.
kid
I
for
know.
like
We'll
4
think
years.
about it. Maybe
Frank,
we'll
would it be
have
better
3.
that we introduce Brad with Carrie Ann and then we have you and Brad come on, or would it better to be you and Brad first, and then Carrie Ann and Brad?
all stuff we can talk about?
See, the thing
Another
is,
time.
I've gone to school. With
I think we
Dirt
could
since
just
pre-
edit
Yeah.
out the last like.
Yeah, maybe
Minute
we'll,
of
we'll,
this
Not gonna edit it out.
we'll trim it out or not. But yeah, to wrap this up, anything more or?
No, I think that's it.
Good.
We going
That's
to
it.
the,
Alrighty, folks.
We going to the bar right now?
Just want to give
No,
a big
let's do
shout
it.
out to the
We're doing
508th Military Police Company, my squad leader, Sergeant Loiza, my platoon sergeant, Sergeant Asensio, my platoon leader, Lieutenant Roman, and my 2 Joes, Cabrera and Calvo.
There you
Shut
go.
up. Thank you guys for your
I heard
service.
Cabrera's a
We
coward.
appreciate it.